rehabilitation for young people who have challenging behaviors and things like that. So in 2022, the UK government contacted me to expand, and I needed workers for that. Worker stability was a problem. We applied for the sponsorship license and we got it, and we started, the expansion came, things were good, and I thought God had blessed me before, but yeah, this was a different dimension. And the year before, Pastor Jerry had said that God is opening the doors of nations, to us, and this was happening before my eyes. However, in 2023, 10th of July, somebody called me to say, they're taking all the children from you, and I was like, what? It was a big blow, but something in my spirit just said, you're praying, so this is a life from the pits of hell. I continued with my prayers, and when I finished, I went back home. The local authorities did try to take the children, but somehow we muddled through. In September that year, it was like the onslaught of attacks. In September of 2023, my accounts, my business and personal accounts were frozen. The Inland Revenue said they were investigating us for fraud and money laundering. It was a bit ridiculous because I've never done any business outside of anybody except the United Kingdom government. And that went on and on and on. And in January, the UK government suspended all the sponsorship. So it was like one problem after the other, and I was getting a bit confused. So, and the word of God was coming, so I decided to come to Nigeria to pray. That Monday morning when I arrived at Abuja, my husband was bringing me from the airport, and I just realized that it was like 6:45, coming up to 6:45. So I said, let's go to NSPPD. Hey, do you know the place? He said, I said, okay, we'll Google. So we used Google Maps to come here that Monday morning, and we were here live, and the word came. So I ended up all week, I was here with my folders, big folders with all the issues that were plaguing me and my business, and family issues as well. I made sure that I went into this altar, this where we have a prayer request, and I went to pray and just presented it to God. This was April. I returned back to the UK on the 1st of May. On the altar, Pastor Jerry said, you will receive an email before this prayer is over.
Somebody hear me. That email you have been waiting for, let it enter today.
So afterwards, I checked my emails at 8:04 that morning. The message came from the HMRC to say that the court had ordered for the freezing of my accounts to be unfrozen with immediate effect. The next day, the 2nd, I received a letter in the post from the HMRC to say that they were very sorry for everything that they took me through the mail, that they were very sorry, and they offered me a compensation. Monetary compensation. The money that was frozen was quite a lot, so 6 figures amount. On Wednesday, oh Lord, show me mercy. In fact, all my staff, everybody in my workforce, they are all LSPPDians. Because since this thing started, I was sharing with them. I said we have to be mandatory. We have to be on the altar. And so everybody is moving with Pastor Jerry, and when the word comes, they're like, madam, God has talked about us today. Anyway, that Wednesday, after doing the meeting with the staff, I was about going to support somebody when I saw a flash on my phone, an email, and the email said Home Office, visas, so I said I'll read it when I get home. So I opened the email and I was reading it. I was like, oh my God. It said that without exception, we had been reinstated. Mind you, the greatest part of this was that on the 11th of March, the Home Office changed the rules for sponsorship in the UK, where you can't bring your dependents anymore, and also that you must be CQC registered. CQC is the body that governs the care sector in the UK. We don't deal with CQC because we work with children, so we deal with Ofsted. And so we're not on that record, so we did not even qualify anymore. And they sent this, even in this letter of reinstatement, there's a list there of the CQC and all the bodies that would qualify, but they reinstated us without any condition. No condition at all. Then this morning, I came to Nigeria because I said I will come. One of the vows I made here was I will come here to testify in person for the world to hear that there is God on this altar. And one of my staff called me. Because of everything that's been happening, they've been waiting for visas for their families. So when I looked at it, it was one of my staff. She said, this morning, this Sunday, is not a working day in the UK or anywhere in the world that I know of. They have granted her family visas, her husband and her children. What God cannot do. Finally, Pastor Jerry says, women in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, receive your husbands.
Women in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, that desire their spouses. On the sound of your email, carry your evidence.
You know, I wasn't looking, but in under the space of 2 months, in fact less than 2 months, I got proposed to. I wasn't in a relationship. I got married at 52 years old. The Lord who has called you and you have obeyed, that God will never fail you. From strength to strength daily, God will uphold you. Your story will not be the story of, and there was a man. It will be the story of from generation to generation. The glory of God is seen. Millions and people and nations will come to know the name of the Lord because of you.